Who's ready to rock today, Fire Nation? JLD here, and welcome to Entrepreneurs on Fire, brought to you by the HubSpot Podcast Network with great shows like Marketing Made Simple. Today, we'll be breaking down how to practically build a turnkey business model to help you earn both time and financial freedom. To drop these value bombs, I have brought Clay Clark into EO Fire Studios. Clay is the co-founder of 5 Kids, the former Oklahoma U.S. SBA Entrepreneur of the Year, and founder of several multi-million-dollar companies, an Amazon best-selling author, and the host of the Thrive Time Show Business School Without the BS podcast. And today, Fire Nation, we'll be talking about building turnkey marketing systems, sales systems, recruiting systems, management systems, viral growth systems, accounting systems, and Clay's on the mic. So much more will be coming your way when we get back from thanking our sponsors. Are you looking for more income, more freedom, more time, and to make more of an impact on the world? Then creating an online course should be your next move. Get started with Thinkific today at thinkific.com/EOF. Business Made Simple, hosted by Donald Miller, takes the mystery out of growing your business. Check out recent episodes like How to Escape a Villain Mindset and The Framework That Makes Marketing Easy. Listen to Business Made Simple wherever you get your podcasts. Clay, say what's up to Fire Nation and share something that you believe about becoming successful that most people disagree with.
Hello, Fire Nation, EO Fire Nation. I will say I'm excited to be here with you. Thank you for lowering your standards by allowing me to interrupt your day here. One thing that I believe that most people don't believe is that success is easy to achieve if you just have a proven plan.
Fire Nation, you've been hearing Clay for years and years and years on this show now. So when this man speaks, please listen, because today we're talking about how to practically build a turnkey business model to help you earn both time and financial freedom. And I know that you want both of those things, Fire Nation. So let's just dive right in. And I know you have a guest today that we'll be introducing pretty soon here, Clay, but I want to talk about building turnkey marketing systems. Break that down for us.
Well, if you have a business, let's say that I'm just going to give some examples, but if you go to thrivetimeshow.com, and you click on the testimonials button there, I'm just going to reference some people you can easily see some low-hanging fruit. If you train dogs, one of my clients is called Tip Top Canine. If you're a physical therapist, Body Central. If you're a harbor, that's Keystone Harbor, they do boats. Complete Carpet, if you're into the snorkeling business, if you're into the home building business, if you're into the landscaping business, you're into pest control, you're into fitness, or you're into interior design, or selling cookies or mufflers, any business, you have to have a turnkey way to generate customers. So step number 1 is you want to make a list of your ideal and likely buyers. You have to ask yourself, who on the planet actually wants to buy from you? Who actually wants to buy from you? This show right here, only people that care about achieving time freedom and financial freedom would listen to a show about entrepreneurship. But at this very second, there's other great podcasts going on right now that talk about the origins of black holes. And it's people's theory on the theories of relativity. And so this would, if I hopped on a show about black holes, it'd probably be a bad show to talk about entrepreneurship success tips. So you want to figure out who are your ideal and likely buyers. That's step 1. Step 2 is you want to ask yourself, what are the most effective 3 ways to reach your ideal and likely buyers? What are the most 3 effective ways to reach your ideal and likely buyers?
So at this point, I think we need to bring in Ryan Hutchins. He's been patiently waiting by a microphone, and he has a business called Peak Business Valuation. And he's actually been an Entrepreneurs on Fire listener for 7 years now. And fortunately for him, he listened to a Clay Clark episode back in either 2019 or 2020 and decided to say, hey, I want to experience a little bit more with Clay Clark. And in 2020, signed up with the Clay Clark here. And now he's seen a 238% growth in his business. So Fire Nation, today you'll be hearing from Ryan, a Fire Nation listener for 7 years, who a couple years ago listened to Clay Clark, took action, and has a 238% growth in his business. So Clay, you take the ship here, how you want to weave in Ryan with these different things, and then we'll keep on going.
Well, Ryan, his company, peakbusinessvaluation.com, is a business that helps business owners determine their value. What's your business worth? And that way, if you want to sell your business or merge or be acquired or whatever your situation is, you have a better understanding of where you're at. And Ryan does that very successfully, but he just needed to know how to scale his company. And so, Ryan, you were listening to the show. At what point did you decide, okay, I'm going to go to thrivetimeshow.com/EOFire. I'm going to actually go there right now, thrivetimeshow.com/EOFire. I'm actually going to fill out a form, and I'm actually going to schedule an appointment. What point did you decide to move from just having listening to a conversation to actual activation?
I probably looked at and really listened to the podcast about 2 to 3 times before I actually decided to make a decision.
Yeah.
And once I believed that someone that could actually help me get to that spot, I'm like, I got to make a call. It won't hurt.
Did you watch a lot of testimonials before filling out the form?
I watched about 2 pages worth of testimonials.
Now, JLD and the Fire Nation, I've got a little over, I think, 2,000 video reviews now from former or current clients. Because I've been doing this. I'm 41. I've been self-employed since I was 16 years old, and I was the Entrepreneur of the Year for the state of Oklahoma when I was 27. And since that point, doctors, dentists, lawyers, they all reach out. And I only want to work with people like Ryan, because I only take on 160 clients. Mm-hmm. And I'm looking for diligent doers who are ready to plow, not people who are debating the ethics of plowing or somebody who's concerned about their hands might get calloused while plowing. I'm looking for someone that actually wants to plow now. I just want to show them the proven plan. So you filled out the form. And when you filled out the form, what happened next?
I was reached out by one of your employees that asked certain questions, kind of gauged whether or not I'm the right fit. And then you and I jumped on a call, 13-point assessment, discussed kind of your written plan for the success of my business. And it must have been successful because I've been a client.
How do you get leads now? How are you getting leads? How are people finding peak business valuation now where they weren't in the past?
We primarily get leads through our website, through SEO search. Valuation is a black box to most people. And so we write hundreds of articles a month to basically drive people to our website, learn about valuation, and give us a call.
So search engine optimization. Did we help you make a video for your website?
Yes, you did.
Did we help you build the website?
Yes, you did.
Did we help do the online ads?
Yes, you did.
Retargeting ads?
Yes, you did.
Sales scripting?
Yep.
Okay, so JLD, there's a lot of work that he had to do, but the first step was to, listen to your show, which I encourage everybody. If you're not listening to EO Fire consistently, I really do mean this. You become the average of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. And if you want to reference Proverbs from the Bible actually says, for a companion of fools shall suffer harm. Okay. And it's walk with the wise, you'll become wise. It's very important that you don't surround yourself with people that are not successful. That can't be your number one input. The problem is, according to Inc. magazine, 96% of business owners fail. 96% of business owners fail within 10 years, according to Inc. magazine. So if you think about that, that means if you were to go into a room, JLD, at a local networking event, and you were to ask 1,000 people, say you went into a room with, let's say, 100 people, and you said, I'm looking for advice from a successful entrepreneur. Do we have any successful entrepreneurs here? The statistical probability, if you ran into a room of entrepreneurs, of finding an entrepreneur who's been successful for over a decade would be 4%. Now, given that only 10% of the American population approximately ever become self-employed, we're talking about 4% of 10%. Now, if someone can do the math, you can reach out to his business valuation company, as a company with people filled with calculators all over their desks. They can help you with this. All I'm saying is you don't want to get bad advice. And that's why when you listen to this show and you see the people that JLD's interviewed over the years, what's happening is, and again, sometimes people want to listen to the newest show, but JLD, you've been doing this for years, and you had Gary Vaynerchuk, Lewis Howes, so many big time people who are on your show consistently. It is so important, folks, that you escape from the norm and you reconform your brain to proven systems that work. So I encourage everybody, action item, listen to EO Fire at least once a week. Do it.
I love that. And one thing I do want to clarify with Clay sharing all this stuff is I do get Fire Nation coming to me all the time. That's you, my listeners right now. And they say, John, I'm willing to do the work. I'm willing to plow. I'm willing to get my hands calloused, but I don't know the next step. I don't know what that next step in the process is. Just point me in the right direction. That's what Clay does. He gives you the steps. He tells you what to do. You execute on proven systems, and then you win. What did Ryan Hutchins, a 7-year EO Fire listener, do? He took action and he did the work. He followed the systems, 238% growth. Now, what did Hyon Rutchins do? Listen to the episode and did nothing. And that person is still doing nothing, and they're still in that category of unsuccessful entrepreneur. So what do you want to talk about next? We got turnkey sales systems. We got turnkey hiring, recruiting systems. You take it, Clay.
Well, the next we want to do is once you have a marketing system. Now, again, I want to be very clear on the details of this. You define your ideal and likely buyers, and I will just sketch out some more details. I know we have a lot of note takers that listen to this show. You have to once you define your ideal and likely buyers, you have to ask yourself, how are you going to reach out to these people? So let's just say that you wrote down, okay, my website. Let's say you wrote online ads. And let's say you wrote down maybe billboards or social media ads. If you said social media ads, you're going to need to implement best practice systems. You don't want to hack away and say, well, this might work. I think this might work. Again, you can work through guesswork, or you can implement proven systems. And I recommend you go with proven systems. Otherwise, you're running through the landmine of life. Now, Ryan, with your company, Peak Business Valuation, what are the primary 3 ways, again, you generate leads right now?
Primary way is through SEO with websites. So if you look up how to value an HVAC company, we should show up number 1, number 2 on Google. That is the primary. We primarily get 90% of our leads through SEO. We also have Google Ads and AdRoll, which is a retargeting service. And otherwise, we produce YouTube videos and produce a lot of YouTube videos because ultimately people like watching.
Okay, folks. So again, now we kind of figured out the marketing game. We have to move into sales. Now, sales is where you actually have to sell something to a human on the planet. You have to actually solve a problem for another person in exchange for a profit. And this part can be tough because it's like, well, what words do I say? What do I do? How do I say it? Well, Michael Levine, who couldn't be here today, but he's the PR consultant of choice for Nike, Pizza Hut, Michael Jackson, Prince back in the day. He's a friend of mine. His name is Michael Levine. He actually wrote this years ago in a book called PR 2.0. He says, if you give someone a present and you give it to them in a Tiffany box, it's likely that they'll believe that the gift has a higher perceived value if you give it to them, if you gave it to them in a box so think about this. He says, if you give someone a present and you give it to them in a Tiffany box, it's likely that they'll believe that the gift has a higher perceived value than if you gave it to them in no box or a box of less prestige. That's not because the receiver of the gift is a fool, but instead because we live in a culture in which we gift wrap everything. Politicians, corporate heads, TV stars, movie stars, even our toilet paper. So your branding has to be top notch. And that means your website, your logo, your print pieces, everything people see. But then when you answer the phone, you have to have a proven system. How has scripting, Ryan, helped you guys at peakbusinessvaluation.com?
Scripting has truly helped my team understand what is the meat and potatoes of a conversation, going from rapport to the needs to kind of closing and kind of addressing any kind of hesitancy to working with us. Because if you make it simple, anyone can do it.
And I'll quote Michael Gerber, a friend of mine who's also the author of the book called The E-Myth. A lot of entrepreneurs have read his books and quoted him. And JLD, one thing I like to do, and I know you do as well, I like to meet the authors. That's one of my favorite things, is to go read a book and go, ha-ha, I'm going to find you. So I found myself at Trump International Hotel in Chicago in a hotel suite talking to Michael Gerber, the great bearded one. And I said, Michael Gerber, baby, I remember reading your book back in 2005, building my company, DJConnection.com, which I no longer own. And I use those skills. And you wrote in your book, E-Myth, it says, if your business depends on you, you don't own a business, you have a job. And it's the worst job in the world because you're working for a lunatic. And I thought to myself, man, I need systems. So we've helped Ryan with all the scripts, the systems, the pre-written emails, the turnkey processes. Now, step 3, once you have those processes, turns out you need great people willing to follow those great systems. Mm-hmm. So an example of this would be Jack Welch. He wrote a book called Straight from the Gut. And the summary of the book, Straight from the Gut, or the summary of the book, if you had to summarize the book, called Winning, is the team with the best players wins. And so if you have a team of A players, they will run circles around a team of C players. It's what you have to do is learn how to hire people. Ryan, how have we helped you learn how to hire people at scale? Because again, all the systems in the world are great, but if you don't have teamwork, you just cannot make the dream work.
Correct. The primary way is through a system called a group interview. Ultimately, having a job ad on Indeed or LinkedIn and basically inviting everyone that applies to that group interview to essentially assess whether or not they are a good fit for the company. And so it saves us time because we do not have to go through resumes. We essentially just get to see them in person and basically look at their characteristics and the way they present themselves and see if they're a fit for what we're looking for.
One thing I'll say this in JLD, we're old enough now to remember the 80s.
I remember the 80s. Jean
jackets, Back to the Future. I mean, we remember all at Star Wars. We remember all that. We're old enough to remember that. But I listen to this. I've been doing consulting. People started reaching out to me before I knew what consulting was in 2002 because my businesses were booming. And people would call me, knock on my door. Sir, can I pick your brain? I didn't know what that was. My wife, we've been married 21 years now. We have 5 kids. My wife says to me, we've been married about 4 years. She says, perhaps you should charge for this service. And I'm going, no, I'm not going to charge for my service. I'll just help these young whippersnappers. Well, pretty soon, I'm not kidding. I'm helping like hundreds of people per year at a low, low price of $3.99. I'm speaking at events all over the country, speaking in Vegas, speaking for Maytag, speaking for Hewlett Packard, speaking. And people all say, I can't find good people. And that was in 2002, 2003. People say, well, things have changed now. Millennials, you can't teach. Listen, folks, people have been saying they can't find good people since at least 2002 that I'm aware of. And it increases over time. But I'm telling you, I have some of the best employees on the planet. Some of the best people in the world work in my businesses, and I'm honored to call them friends, coworkers. We have an awesome team. But you know how we have an awesome team? We have a proven plan that takes hours to break down all the details of it. But if you're having a hard time finding people, that's not a problem I have anymore. Is that a problem you have anymore, Ryan?
Nope, not anymore.
They do not. That's just in. They do not have a problem hiring people at peakbusinessvaluations.com.
Fire Nation, I know your pulse is racing and you can't wait for the next thing Clay's about to say, but we're going to take a quick break to thank our sponsors. You have a skill. It's that special something you do so well and you've made it your business. And now you're ready to put yourself out there, impact more people, and grow your business. It's time for you to meet Thinkific, a single platform to create, market, and sell your own online courses. And we speak from personal experience. Create courses with drag and drop simplicity, add videos, live lessons, quizzes, post discussions, and more. Start with existing themes or fully customize the look and feel to match your brand. You're in control. We've been hosting our courses on Thinkific since 2017, and we've been able to connect with thousands of students to deliver a user-friendly and engaging experience and help them reach their goals. So if you're ready to create an online course to help you reach a wider audience, build revenue, and make a bigger impact, then Thinkific is the perfect partner to have by your side. See how rewarding it is to turn sharing your knowledge into a thriving business. Start your free Thinkific trial today at thinkific.com/EOF. That's THINKIFIC.com/EOF. Trust, connectivity, innovation. These 3 things can make a huge difference when it comes to serving your customers at the highest level and making sure your team is equipped with the right tools to master their craft. Lucky for us, HubSpot helps us do all 3. HubSpot empowers leaders with a customizable CRM platform that puts the customer experience first, powers innovation and customization without adding complexity, helping teams adapt and pivot quickly, and connects insights across functions like marketing, sales, service, content management, and operations for a bird's eye view across all functions. Take HubSpot's app marketplace integrations as one example of how they help you and your team excel through the app marketplace, where you can connect your HubSpot account to over 1,000 popular business apps through third-party built integrations. Learn how your business can grow better at HubSpot.com. All right, Clay, we are back. Let's move on to the next step.
The next step you have to do is you have to learn how to manage people. Now, Brian Tracy, the best-selling author, who I never met Brian Tracy. I wanted to. His standards were too high. A lot of rejection there. I never met him. It's kind of a difficult subject to even talk about at times. But I reached out to Brian. He never called me back. But I did read his book, and he said this, and I believe he said it to me via the form of his book. He says, no one lives long enough, Clay, to learn everything they need to know starting from scratch, Clay. I always just picture him saying that. To be successful, Clay, we absolutely positively have to find people who have already paid the price to learn the things that we need to learn to achieve our goals, Clay. I'm going, okay, Brian, fine. It's a one-sided conversation. But the point is, you got to learn the proven systems and how to manage people. And managing people can be difficult. Now, you're here shadowing today, Ryan. You flew in from Utah to shadow. What time did you start shadowing today?
I started shadowing you before 6 o'clock this morning.
And what have I been doing all day?
You've been on the phone talking with people 24/7.
Boom, 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 boom. And I'm not going to take this show to a political way. I'm not going political. I'm just going to share this. Today, I was on the phone with Eric Trump. I've been on the phone with Mike Lindell, a lot of entrepreneurs. I'm on the phone with these people, and I'm on the phone with these people. I have to have a plan of what am I going to say? What am I going to do? You have to organize your day. So you have to learn how to manage yourself and manage a team, because nobody wants to work for somebody who doesn't have a plan. And so today, have you seen me spending my day gossiping or pontificating about random things that may occur?
No.
What have I been doing the whole day?
You've been going through your printed out checklist of what you scheduled this morning, and you've been calling people and multitasking.
And this is one thing I love about JLD. I heard about JLD because a guy named Dave who worked in my office is Clay. You've got to meet JLD. And I'm going, rapper. It's like T.I., JLD, Tupac. It's not like a rap name. Is this a rapper? He's like, no. This is a guy who has this podcast. He puts them out every day. And at the time, nobody was going daily. Nobody. I mean, this was like cutting edge stuff. JLD, you were one of the first to go daily. People are like, how's it possible? How can he do it? Well, JLD, I mean, you had a plan, correct, for organizing your day?
Call it batching like a baller.
Yeah. And this is so important. So if you're out there, you're a reader of the 4-Hour Work Week. You're a reader of, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. We've interviewed the co-author of that book, Sharon Lecter, on our show. I've interviewed John Maxwell. I've interviewed, who else we had? Damon John from FUBU recently. All these top successful entrepreneurs that you found on the EO Fire Show or on my podcast at thrivetimeshow.com. Every single successful entrepreneur that I'm around, they have 3 things that the world doesn't have. It's like if the world were to find these things, it would change their lives. 1, they have a to-do list in some shape or form. 2, they have a calendar that they have control over. Someone should underline that. They have a calendar that they have control over. They determine their destiny. And the third thing they have, it's amazing, they have a vision, either a vision board or a vision somewhere that they keep. Because I remember, JLD, you were talking about moving to Puerto Rico to reduce your tax liability and to maybe increase your quality of life. And at the time, people were like, I don't know if he's going to do it. It sounds crazy. But you did it. And you didn't just drift to Puerto Rico. You made a plan. And I think that's so important. We have a to-do list, a calendar, and a vision.
I love all of that. I'm a big believer in the phrase, win tomorrow today. So I don't wake up in the morning and say, what's my plan for the day? My plan for the day has already been created the day before, and it's all down to discipline. And I am a disciple to a plan of action every single day, and I make that happen. And for years, people have been saying, John, how do you do a daily podcast? I mean, you must have time for nothing else. I say, not only do I do a daily podcast, I do a daily podcast 4 days a month. I only work 4 days a month doing the podcast interviews. I'm doing 7 interviews today. I did 7 interviews yesterday. Those were 2 of my 4 days. I'm doing interviews this entire month. The entire month of March, by the way, Clay, I was in Europe on my bachelor party. I did my own self-guided backpacking trek through Italy. It was unbelievable. Didn't work a single day in March. And now I'm taking the next 2 weeks off already because I'm getting married April 23rd. So, I mean, this is what happens when you build everything that we're talking about here, when you build marketing systems, sales systems, hiring systems, management systems, and next we're moving into viral growth systems. What are you going to say about that, Clay?
Well, virality, what does the word viral mean? Now, if you're talking about marketing, it's where you go from 1 customer to 2. And you just saw me, Ryan. I was kind of encouraging our sales team. We have a big, for the listeners out there that don't know how I make money, okay, there's 160 clients I work with, many of which are partners, okay? So I'm in the dog training business. I'm in the haircut, men's grooming business. So if you go to tiptopcanine.com, you can see that. If you go to eitrlounge.com, eitrlounge.com, I manage 5 men's grooming haircut chains. I'm involved in the precious metals business. And I can go on and on. I'm just saying this so people have some context of what I'm doing. But this particular month, I'm going to sell in the precious metals business millions and millions of dollars of precious metals, millions of dollars. And in order to do that, I have to deliver on what we promise consumers. I have to, and some of the businesses I'm involved in, I'm an actual equity partner. Some I'm a non-equity partner. But if everybody listening to your show all went to tiptopcanine.com and we didn't deliver, you wouldn't come back. So we have to make sure that we have a turnkey system that develops a wow moment. So I'm giving people specific steps to do. So step number 1, ask yourself, when someone fills out the form on your website or calls you, what happens? So when someone fills out the form, what happens? 2, when someone calls, what happens? 3, when someone's put on hold, what happens? Thank you for calling, yada, yada. Please wait on hold. My on hold music is hot, by the way. You want to talk about something that's going to burn your retina? My on hold music is so hot, you have to put on sunblock. I have people, and I'm not exaggerating, who have called me and asked to be put on hold because they want to be on hold.
You are a DJ. Come on.
No, and they feel the flow. They're like, hey, I'd rather talk to the on hold music, please, because it's so good. And then a lot of people, they once you do that, it's okay. Once someone buys something, what does your receipt say? How does your office smell? How would you describe the decor in this office here, Ryan?
Oh, the office is very inspirational. There's signage all over the walls, pictures, uplifting kind of sayings, quotes. It's very energetic in a fun environment.
So you need to be very specific, EO Fire Nation, about your sights, your sounds, your smells, the entire experience, because if you are not intentional about your systems and processes, you will not create viral growth. But I'm telling you, one of the businesses I'm involved in right now, it's a haircut business called Elephant in the Room. I was telling you, people walk in there and they go, I love this place. It's like a modern man cave. Oh. It feels like, you're in that rustic modern man cave vibe, and people like that. And it has a smell of peppermint oil and the music's playing. And you feel a little bit cooler when that music's going. You go, oh, I feel so cool right now. I almost want to stay here all day. And then the conversation is at a certain frequency because people love the atmosphere. They want to stick around for a while. And then what happens is people then tell their friends. So somebody's going to listen to this show today and say, I know JLD does 7 interviews. Lord bless him, because that interview with Clay Clark was the worst interview I've ever heard in my life. Someone else is going to go, that's the best. And someone else is going to say, I hate that he's always switching voices. And that's the way I talk. That's the way I think. So there's somebody listening right now saying, stop doing all the voices. I hate it when you do the voices. I'll never listen to the show again. You don't take it seriously. Someone else is going to go, I love the voices. I love them. I love the voice. There's all different personality types, but I know if you can appreciate a good Yoda impersonation, you are going to like working with me. Now, if you don't like Yoda impersonations and the kind of people that they reference Yoda often, then you're not going to like working with me. And it's so important you're intentional. I can't tell you how many people who have called my office, they wait on hold, and it says something ridiculous like, in due time, call you back, we will. Please remain on hold. And people love that or they hate it. But I've thought about the kind of people I want to work with and the kind of people I don't. And I want to be, and I'm just helping the listeners out there, I want to work with high energy people that are serious about having success, people that are positive. I call them diligent doers. I want to be around the kind of people that want to bless themselves and those around them because of their financial abundance. I want to be around not excuse makers. I want to be with people that are taking their life and saying every day that they are given is a gift from God, and what they do with that day is a gift to God. That's the kind of people I want to be around. I want to be around the kind of people that view being mentally and physically present as a present, okay? I don't want to see people that throw away their days and waste their days. And that's why I talk with a certain urgency. That's why I organize my day. And that's why these shows that we've done with JLD for years now, since the first interview, I think 7 years ago, have resonated with thousands of people. And that's why when I tell people, if you want to come to one of our workshops, if you go to thrivetimeshow.com, people say, what does it cost? I tell people it's $250 or whatever you want to pay. And JLD, this blows the minds of people that don't get me. They go, you're going to let someone pay whatever they want to pay? Yes, because it is the hottest, most reviewed. It literally is the highest rated and most reviewed business workshop in America right now for small businesses. But yet I let you name your price. You know why? Because I grew up poor. And I know what it's like for my dad to deliver pizzas at Domino's Pizza. I'm thankful he had that opportunity. And he also worked at the Quick Trip gas stations. I'm 41. When my dad was in his late 30s, he was delivering pizzas and working at Quick Trip, and he was doing it to provide for my family. And I'm so glad he had that opportunity. But wouldn't that be nice if he had more time freedom and financial freedom to invest that time freedom and financial freedom into his family and his friends and his relationships? So that's what we're all about doing right here. We're all about taking your business to the next level. And if you're listening right now, I don't care what product or service you provide for your customers, you've got to provide something so powerful it makes people say, wow. And when people say, wow, they'll refer you right about now. Someone should write that down, put that on a t-shirt. When your customers say, wow, they'll refer you right about now.
I mean, Fire Nation, if you can't get fired up with all of this great energy, enthusiasm, and content from Clay Clark, check yo pulse. Let's end strong, turnkey accounting systems.
Well, I don't talk about accounting a lot because a lot of times people on a podcast, they go, accounting, God, I think I need to go cut the grass with my teeth. I think I need to go paint. I need to just go finger paint a house for somebody. I don't know. I think I'm going to go outside and count how many blades of grass are present. I mean, it's just because accounting is something people don't want to do. But I'll tell you this, folks. You have to measure what you treasure. I repeat, you have to measure what you treasure. And I will tell you this. A lot of times people will reach out to Ryan at Peak Business Valuation. And Ryan, when they reach out and they're a business owner, they want to sell their company, how often do they not know their numbers?
I would say 80% of the time.
Did you just hear that? Sharon Lecter, a friend of mine who co-wrote Rich Dad, Poor Dad, she told me she thinks it's in the upper 90%.
Wow.
And I truly believe that because once you actually look at their numbers, they're like, oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know my profit was that low.
So I'm going to throw my numbers out there for the listeners. Someone's going to say, I can't believe you're doing this. I work with 160 clients. I charge my clients $1,700 a month. Someone says, what? Okay. I don't get it. You're telling us your secret sauce. What are you doing here? So that brings in a total gross revenue of $272,000 per month. And that's at a 20% profit margin. Okay. So I'm very clear with my clients. I'm very clear with my listeners. That's what I do. So $54,400 a month. That's the profit that can be expected to generate, that I can generate. And obviously you've got other expenses, and then I'm partner with certain people, and there's other ways to make money. But the point is, I know my numbers. So when I built this campus that we're in right now, it's a 40-acre campus. Before I met JLD, I was not in the campus, but now I've built our 40-acre campus here. And did you see the goats, by the way, Ryan? Did you see the goats?
Oh, I did. I walked up to them and said, hey.
They're beautiful Americans, and I got the new Pyrenees here. It's awesome. When you pull up and you see these beautiful American goats, they're incredible. When you see these guys, it cost money to buy those 40 acres in a suburban area and to build this building and all those things. And when I went to the meet with the bankers and, decide whether you're going to pay cash or borrow money or what percentage you're going to pay, all that kind of stuff, I know my numbers. And I walk in knowing what my numbers are. And every time the bankers are going, holy crap, this guy knows his number. We need to get a beer. This guy knows his numbers. This is crazy. I mean, it's almost like mind-blowing when you meet someone that knows their numbers. I'm serious. But I'll tell you this. Tillman Fertitta, the owner of the Houston Rockets, he wrote an entire book that was basically one big rant about knowing your numbers. And if I'm telling you, and this is one of the most successful entrepreneurs on the planet, and he wrote an entire book. And if I could summarize his book, which by the way, everyone should read, it's called Shut Up and Listen. His whole book is about know your numbers. It's like chapter 1, know your numbers. Chapter 2, why the crap don't you know your numbers? Chapter 3, know your numbers. Everybody needs to know your numbers. And so for the clients we work with on a one-on-one basis, if you go to thrivetimeshow.com, /EOFire. That's thrivetimeshow.com /EOFire. I know someone's driving while using an Etch-a-Sketch to take notes, or maybe they're on a skateboard taking notes with a ketchup packet, but you want to go to thrivetimeshow.com /EOFire. And when you fill out the form, we will schedule a 13-point assessment with you. And that's kind of our rendezvous where we decide whether it's a good fit. And if it is, we're going to get into the numbers. And I'm not going to share Ryan's numbers on today's show in terms of the revenue, but I can say, Ryan, how much have you grown so far since we worked with you?
So we've grown 238% top line growth. From a profit standpoint, we've grown 160%.
In our programs month to month. Is this correct?
Correct.
And are you scared every month, wondering what the bill's going to be from us?
Never.
Is it the same every month?
Yes.
What would you say to anybody out there listening who's thinking about reaching out, going, this sounds like a Ponzi scheme, sounds like a scam, sounds like a scam? What would you say?
A call never hurts. If you get no, if you get a yes, who cares? Just call.
There it is. Boom.
Fire Nation, just call. So Clay, take us home, brother. I want one big takeaway from everything we talked about today. Let's tie Ryan in as well, and then we'll say goodbye.
Well, I'll say this. Chet Holmes, the best-selling author of the book called The Ultimate Sales Machine, a book so good I wish I would have written it. I've written a lot of books, but I didn't write that book. I read that book. And the late, great sales consultant Chet Holmes, he wrote a book called The Ultimate Sales Machine. And in that red-covered book, he wrote the following words. He said, the missing ingredient for nearly all of the 1,000 plus clients that I've worked with directly to improve their businesses is pig-headed discipline and determination. We all get good ideas at seminars and from books, from radio talk shows and business building gurus. But the problem is that most companies do not know how to identify and to adapt. Identify and adapt. Hopefully that punches someone in the face there, figuratively speaking. Hopefully that slaps you with a wet fish. But it says, again, the problem is that most companies do not know how to identify and adapt the best ideas to their businesses. Implementation, not ideas. Whoa. Implementation, not ideas. Can we rewind that? Implementation, not ideas. Implementation, not ideas, is the real key to success. So I encourage everybody out there, if you want to implement, go to thrivetimeshow.com, come out to one of our workshops, schedule a one-on-one consultation. You can ask a bunch of questions to see if it's a good fit. We want to help you out there. The workshops are $250 or whatever you want to pay. Our consulting is $1,700 a month, and we produce results. Thank you, Fire Nation, for tuning in and for lowering your broadcast standards to listen to me. I know that the other shows that he will record today and other days shall always be better than this show. So this is the anchor show. Remember, this show sets the floor for the EO Fire Show.
Fire Nation, you're the average. Of the 5 people you spend the most time with, you've been hanging out with CC, JLD, and RH today. So keep up the heat. Head over to eofire.com, type Clay in the search bar. Not just this episode, but all the past ones will pop up as well. We always bring on somebody from Fire Nation who's working with Clay. They give amazing examples. I think Ryan did a fantastic job talking through the process. So pick up that phone, make that call, get that 13-point assessment. There's no reason not to. Clay, thank you for sharing your truth, knowledge, value with Fire Nation today. For that, we salute you, and we'll catch you on the flip side.
Hey, Clay Clark and my Thrive peeps. It's Steve Currington, as you can tell. Although I'm not wearing my signature green shirt as usual, but I am riding in my signature green Lamborghini. And I just wanted to say how appreciative I am of Thrive and all the guys at Thrive Time and the show and everything that you guys have done. At Total Ending Concepts, we have had tremendous growth and a lot of things changing, especially on the marketing front, and from a coaching perspective, and from a web presence and branding, and our internet leads are up. Everything is hammering on all cylinders, and really we're just trying to figure out how we can leverage the systems and the processes that we're learning at Thrive more in our business. So now we're setting up a lead tracking system that has been long overdue, and we're doing lots of stuff. But I wanted to take a minute and say thank you to Thrive and Clay Clark and Dr. Z and everybody for all the help in helping us grow our business and hopefully buy more Lamborghinis like this the more we sell. So appreciate it, guys. See ya.
Hi, I'm Aaron Antis with Shaw Homes. I first heard about Clay through a mortgage lender here in town who had told me what a great job he had been doing for them, and I actually noticed he was driving a Lamborghini all of a sudden, so I was willing to listen. In my career, I've sold a little over $800 million in real estate. So honestly, I thought I kind of knew everything about marketing and homes. And then I met Clay, and my perception of what I knew and what I could do definitely changed. After doing $800 million in sales over a 15-year career, I really thought I knew what I was doing. I've been managing a large team of salespeople for the last 10 years here with Shaw Homes. And I mean, we've been a company that's been in business for 35 years. We've become one of the largest builders in the Tulsa area, and that was without Clay. So when I came to know Clay, I really thought, man, there's not much more I need to know, but I'm willing to listen. The interesting thing is our internet leads from our website has actually, in a 4-month period of time, has gone from somewhere around 10 to 15 leads in a month to 180 internet leads in a month. Just from the few things that he's shown us how to implement that I honestly probably never would have come up with on my own. So I got a lot of good things to say about the system that Clay put in place with us, and it's just been an incredible experience. I am very glad that we met and had the opportunity to work with Clay. So the interaction with the team and with Clay on a weekly basis is honestly very enlightening. One of the things that I love about Clay's perspective on things is that he doesn't come from my industry. He's not somebody who's in the home building industry. I've listened to all the experts in my field. Our company has paid for me to go to seminars, international builder shows, all kinds of places where I've had the opportunity to learn from the experts in my industry. But the thing that I found working with Clay is that he comes from such a broad spectrum of working with so many different types of businesses that he has a perspective that's difficult for me to gain because I get so entrenched in what I do, I'm not paying attention to what other leading industry experts are doing. And Clay really brings that perspective for me. It is very valuable time every week when I get that hour with him. From my perspective, the reason that any business owner who's thinking about hooking up with Thrive needs to definitely consider it is because the results that we've gotten in a very short period of time are honestly monumental. It has really exceeded my wildest expectation of what he might be able to do. I came in skeptical because I'm very pragmatic, and as I've gone through the process over just a few months, I've realized it's probably one of the best moves we've ever made. I think a lot of people probably feel like they don't need a business or marketing consultant because they maybe are a little bit prideful and like to think they know everything. I know that's how I felt coming in. I mean, we're a big company that's definitely one of the largest in town. And so we kind of felt like we knew what we were doing. And I think for a lot of people, they let their ego get in the way of listening to somebody that might have a better or different perspective than theirs. I would just really encourage you, if you're thinking about working with Clay, I mean, the thing is, it's month to month. Go give it a try and see what happens. I think in the 35-year history of Shaw Homes, this is probably the best thing that's happened to us. And I know if you give them a shot, I think you'll feel the same way. I know for me, the thing I would have missed out on if I didn't work with Clay is I would have missed out on literally an 1,800% increase in our internet leads. Going from 10 a month to 180 a month, that would have been a huge financial decision to just decide not to give it a shot. I would absolutely recommend Clay Clark to anybody who's thinking about working with somebody in marketing. I would skip over anybody else you were thinking about, and I would go straight to Clay and his team. I guarantee you're not going to regret it because we sure haven't.
My name is Danielle Sprick, and I am the founder of D. Sprick Realty Group here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. After being a stay-at-home mom for 12 years and my 3 kids started school and they were in school full-time, I was at a crossroads and trying to decide what do I want to do? My degree and my background is in education, but after being a mom and staying home and all of that, I just didn't have a passion for it like I once did. My husband suggested real estate. He's a home builder, so real estate and home building go hand in hand, and we just rolled with it. I love people. I love working with people. I love building relationships. But one thing that was really difficult for me was the business side of things, the processes and the advertising and marketing. I knew that I did not have what I needed to make that what it should be. So I reached out to Clay at that time, and he and his team have been extremely instrumental in helping us build our brand, help market our business, our agents, the homes that we represent. Everything that we do is a direct line from Clay and his team and all that they've done for us. We launched our brokerage, our real estate brokerage, 8 months ago. And in that time, we've gone from myself and one other agent to just this week, we signed on our 16th agent. We have been blessed with the fact that we right now have just over 10 million in pending transactions. 3 years ago, I never would have even imagined that I would be in this role that I'm in today, building a business, having 16 agents. But I have to give credit where credit's due. And Clay and his team and the business coaching that they've offered us has been huge. It's been instrumental in what we're doing. Don't ever limit your vision. When you dream big, big things happen.
I started a business because I couldn't work for anyone else. I do things my way. I do what I think is in the best interest of the patient. I don't answer to insurance companies. I don't answer to large corporate organizations. I answer to my patient, and that's it. My thought when I opened my clinic was I can do this all myself. I don't need additional outside help in many ways. I went to medical school. I can figure this out. But it was a very, very steep learning curve. Within the first 6 months of opening my clinic, I had a $63,000 embezzlement. I lost multiple employees. Clay helped us weather the storm of some of the things that are just a lot of people experience, especially in the medical world. He was instrumental in helping with the specific written business plan. He's been instrumental in hiring good quality employees, using the processes that he outlines for getting in good talent, which is extremely difficult. He helped me in securing the business loans. He helped me with web development and search engine optimization. We've been able to really keep a steady stream of clients coming in because they found us on the web. With everything that I encountered, everything that I experienced, I quickly learned it is worth every penny to have someone in your team that can walk you through and even avoid some of the pitfalls that are almost invariable in starting your own business. I'm Dr. Chad Edwards, and I own Revolution Health and Wellness Clinic.
The Thrive Time Show, 2-day interactive business workshops, are the highest and most reviewed business workshops on the planet.
You can learn the proven 13-point business systems that Dr. Zellner and I have used over and over to start and grow successful companies. I mean, we get into the specific steps on what you need to do to optimize your website. We're going to teach you how to fix your conversion rate. We're going to teach you how to do a social media marketing campaign that works. How do you...
The number of new customers that we've had is up 411% over last year. We are Jared and Jennifer Johnson. We own Platinum Pest and Lawn and are located in Owasso, Oklahoma. And we have been working with Thrive for business coaching for almost a year now.
Yeah. So what we want to do is we want to share some wins with you guys that we've had by working with Thrive. First of all, we're on the top page of Google now. Okay. I just want to let you know what type of accomplishment this is. Our competition, Orkin, Terminex, they're both $1.3 billion companies. They both have 2,000 to 3,000 pages of content attached to their website. So to basically go from virtually non-existent on Google to up on the top page is really saying something. But that's come by being diligent to the systems that Thrive has, by being consistent and diligent on doing podcasts and staying on top of those podcasts to really help with getting up on with their listing and ranking there with Google.
And also we've been trying to get Google reviews, asking our customers for reviews. And now we're the highest rated and most reviewed pest and lawn company in the Tulsa area. And that's really helped with our conversion rate. And the number of new customers that we've had is up 411% over last year.
Wait, say that again. How much are we up?
411%.
Okay, so 411% we're up with our new customers. Amazing.
Right. So not only do we have more customers calling in, we're able to close those deals at a much higher rate than we were before. Right now, our closing rate is about 85%, and that's largely due to, first of all, like our Google reviews that we've gotten people really see that our customers are happy, but also we have a script that we follow. And so when customers call in, they get all the information that they need. That script has been refined time and time again. It wasn't a one and done deal. It was a system that we followed with Thrive in the refining process, and that has obviously the 411% shows that system works.
Yeah, so here's a big one for you. So last week alone, our booking percentage was 91%. We actually booked more deals, more new customers last year than we did the first 5 months, or I'm sorry, we booked more deals last week than we did the first 5 months of last year from before we worked with Thrive. So again, we booked more deals last week than the first 5 months of last year. And it's incredible. But the reason why we have that success is by implementing the systems that Thrive has taught us and helped us out with. So.
Some of those systems that we've implemented are group interviews. That way we've really been able to come up with a really great team. We've created and implemented checklists. That way everything gets done and it gets done right. It creates accountability. We're able to make sure that everything gets done properly, both out in the field and also in our office. And also doing the podcast, like Jared had mentioned, that has really, really contributed to our success. But that, like I said, the diligence and consistency in doing those and that system has really, really been a big blessing in our lives. And also, it's really shown that we've gotten the success from following those systems.
Yeah. So before working with Thrive, we were basically stuck. Really no new growth with our business. And we were in a rut and we didn't know.
The last 3 years, our customer base had pretty much stayed the same. We weren't shrinking, but we weren't really growing either.
Yeah, and so we didn't really know where to go, what to do, how to get out of this rut that we're in. But Thrive helped us with that. They implemented those systems. They taught us those systems. They taught us the knowledge that we needed in order to succeed. Now it's been a grind. Absolutely, it's been a grind this last year. But we're getting those fruits from that hard work and the diligent effort that we're able to put into it. So again, we were in a rut. Thrive helped us get out of that rut. And if you're thinking about working with Thrive, quit thinking about it and just do it. Do the action, and you'll get the results. It will take hard work and discipline, but that's what it's going to take in order to really succeed. So we just want to give a big shout out to Thrive, a big thank you out there to Thrive. We wouldn't be where we're at now without their help.
Hi, I'm Dr. Mark Moore. I'm a pediatric dentist. Through our new digital marketing plan, we have seen a marked increase in the number of new patients that we're seeing every month, year over year. 1 month, for example, we went from 110 new patients the previous year to over 180 new patients in the same month. And overall, our average is running about 40 to 42% increase month over month, year over year. The group of people required to implement our new digital marketing plan is immense, starting with a business coach, videographers, photographers, web designers. Back when I graduated dental school in 1985, nobody advertised. The only marketing that was ethically allowed in everybody's eyes was mouth-to-mouth marketing. By choosing to use the services, you're choosing to use a proven turnkey marketing and coaching system that will grow your practice and get you the results that you're looking for. I went to the University of Oklahoma College of Dentistry, graduated in 1983, and then I did my pediatric dental residency at Baylor College of Dentistry from 1983 to 1985.
Hello, my name is Charles Kolaw with Kolaw Fitness. Today I want to tell you a little bit about Clay Clark and how I know Clay Clark. Clay Clark has been my business coach since 2017. He's helped us grow from 2 locations to now 6 locations. We're planning to do 7 locations in 7 years and then franchise. And Clay has done a great job of helping us navigate anything that has to do with like running the business, building the systems, the checklists, the workflows, the audits, how to navigate lease agreements, how to buy property, how to work with brokers and builders. This guy is just amazing. He's this kind of guy has worked in every single industry. He's written books with like Lee Crockrell, head of Disney, with the 40,000 cast members. He's friends with like Mike Lindell. He does Reawaken America tours, where he does these tours all across the country, where 10,000 or more people show up to some of these tours. On the day-to-day, he does anywhere from about 160 companies. He's at the top. He has a team of business coaches, videographers, and graphic designers and web developers, and they run 160 companies every single week. So think of this guy with a team of business coaches running 160 companies. So in the weekly, he's running 160 companies. Every 6 to 8 weeks, he's doing Reawaken America tours. Every 6 to 8 weeks, he's also doing business conferences where 200 people show up, and he teaches people a 13-step proven system that he's done and worked with billionaires, helping them grow their companies. So I've seen guys from startups go from startup to being multimillionaires, teaching people how to get time freedom and financial freedom through the system. Critical thinking, document creation, putting it into organizing everything in their head to building into a franchisable, scalable business. Like one of his businesses has like 500 franchises. That's just one of the companies or brands that he works with. So amazing guy. Elon Musk kind of like smart guy. He kind of comes off sometimes as socially awkward, but he's so brilliant, and he's taught me so much. When I say that, like Clay is like, he doesn't care what people think when you're talking to him. He cares about where you're going in your life and where he can get you to go. And that's what I like most about him. He's like a good coach. A coach isn't just making you feel good all the time. A coach is actually helping you get to the best you. And Clay has been an amazing business coach. Through the course of that, we became friends. I was really most impressed with him is when I was shadowing him one time. We went into a business deal and listened to it. I got to shadow and listen to it. And when we walked out, I knew that he could make millions on the deal. And they were super excited about working with him. And he told me, he's like, I'm not going to touch it. I'm going to turn it down, because he knew it was going to harm the common good of people in the long run. And the guy's integrity just really wowed me. It brought tears to my eyes to see that this guy, his highest desire was to do what's right. And anyways, just an amazing man. So anyways, impacted me a lot. He's helped navigate anytime I've got nervous or worried about how to run the company, or navigating competition and an economy that's like, I remember we got closed down for 3 months. He helped us navigate on how to stay open, how to get back open, how to just survive through all the COVID shutdowns, lockdowns, because our clubs were all closed for.
I'm Rachel with Tip Top Canine, and we just want to give a huge thank you to Clay and Vanessa Clark.
Hey guys, I'm Ryan with Tip Top Canine. Just want to say a big thank you to Thrive 15. Thank you to Make Your Life Epic. We love you guys, we appreciate you, and really just appreciate how far you've taken us. This is our old house, right? This is where we used to live a few years ago. This is our old neighborhood. See? It's nice, right? So this is my old van and our old school marketing, and this is our old team. And by team, I mean it's me and another guy.
This is our new house with our new neighborhood. This is our new van with our new marketing, and this is our new team. We went from 4 to 14, and I took this beautiful photo. We worked with several different business coaches in the past, and they were all about helping Ryan sell better and just teaching sales, which is awesome, but Ryan is a really great salesman. So we didn't need that. We needed somebody to help us get everything that was in his head out into systems, into manuals and scripts, and actually build a team. So now that we have systems in place, we've gone from 1 to 10 locations in only a year.
In October 2016, we grossed 13 grand for the whole month. Right now it's 2018, the month of October. It's only the 22nd. We've already grossed a little over 50 grand for the whole month, and we still have time to go. We're just thankful for you, thankful for Thrive and your mentorship, and we're really thankful that you guys have helped us to grow a business that we run now instead of the business running us. Just thank you times 1,000.
The Thrive Time Show 2-day interactive business workshops are the highest and most reviewed business workshops on the planet.
You can learn the proven 13-point business systems that Dr. Zellner and I have used over and over to start and grow successful companies. I mean, we get into the specific steps on what you need to do to optimize your website. We're going to teach you how to fix your conversion rate. We're going to teach you how to do a social media marketing campaign that works. How do you raise capital? How do you get a small business loan? We teach you everything you need to know here during a 2-day, 15-hour workshop. It's all here for you. You work every day in your business, but for 2 days you can escape and work on your business and build these proven systems so now you can have a successful company that will produce both the time freedom and the financial freedom that you deserve. You're going to leave energized, motivated, but you're also going to leave empowered. The reason why I've built these workshops is because as an entrepreneur, I always wish that I had this. And because there wasn't anything like this, I would go to these motivational seminars, no money down, real estate, Ponzi scheme, get motivated seminars, and they would never teach me anything. It was like you went there and you paid for the big chocolate Easter bunny, but inside of it was a hollow nothingness. And I wanted the knowledge, and they're like, oh, but we'll teach you the knowledge after our next workshop. And the great thing is we have nothing to upsell. At every workshop, we teach you what you need to know. There's no one in the back of the room trying to sell you some next big get-rich-quick, walk-on-hot coals product. It's literally, we teach you the brass tacks, the specific stuff that you need to know to learn how to start and grow a business. And I encourage you to not believe what I'm saying, and I want you to Google the Z66 auto auction. I want you to Google elephant in the room. Look at Robert Zellner and Associates. Look them up and say, are they successful because they're geniuses, or are they successful because they have a proven system? When you do that research, you will discover that the same systems that we use in our own business can be used in your business. Come to Tulsa, book a ticket, and I guarantee you it's going to be the best business workshop ever, and we'll even give you your money back if you don't love it. We've built this facility for you, and we're excited to see you.
Hey, I'm Ryan Wimpy with Tip Top Canine, and I'm the founder.
I'm Rachel Wimpy, and I am a co-founder.
So we've been running Tip Top for about the last 14 years, franchising for the last 3-4 years. So someone that'd be a good fit for Tip Top loves dogs, they're high energy, they want to be able to own their own job, but they don't want to worry about, that high failure rate. They want to do that like bowling with bumper lanes.
So you give us a call, reach out to us, we'll call you, and then we'll send you an FDD, look over that, read it, fall asleep to it, it's very boring, and then we'll book a discovery day, and you come and you can spend a day or two with us to make sure that you actually like it, make sure training dogs is something that you want to do.
So an FDD is a franchise disclosure document. It's a federally regulated document that goes into all the nitty-gritty details of what the franchise agreement entails.
So who would be a good fit to buy a Tip Top Canine would be somebody who loves dogs, who wants to work with dogs all day as their profession. You'll make a lot of money, you'll have a lot of fun, it's very rewarding. And who would not be a good fit is a cat person.
So the upfront cost for Tip Top is $43,000. And a lot of people say they're generating doctor money, but on our disclosure, the numbers are anywhere from over $1 million a year in dog training, what our Oklahoma City location did last year, to $25-35 grand a month.
To train and get trained by us for Tip Top Canine, to run your own Tip Top Canine, you would be with us for 6 weeks here in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
So we've been married for 7 years.
8 years.
8 years. So if you're watching this video, you're like, hey, maybe I want to be a dog trainer. Hey, that one sounds super amazing. Go to our website, tiptopcanine.com, click on the yellow franchising tab, fill out the form, and Rachel and I will give you a call. Our Oklahoma City location last year, they did over $1 million. He's been running that shop for 3 years. Before, he was a youth pastor with 0 sales experience, 0 dog training experience before he ever met with us.
So just call us, come spend a day with us, spend a couple days with us, make sure you like training dogs, and own your own business.
Well, the biggest reason to buy a Tip Top Canine is so you own your own job and you own your own future, and you don't hate your life. You get an enjoyable job that brings a lot of income, but is really rewarding.
My name is Seth Flint, and I had originally heard about Tip Top Canine through my old pastors who I worked for. They trained their Great Pyrenees with Ryan and Tip Top Canine. They did a phenomenal job and became really good friends with Ryan and Rachel. I was working at a local church, and it was a great experience. I ended up leaving there and working with Ryan and Tip Top Canine. The biggest thing that I really enjoy about being self-employed is that I can create my own schedule. I have the ability to spend more time with my family, my wife, and my daughter. So my very favorite thing about training dogs with Tip Top Canine is that I get to work with the people. Obviously, I love working with dogs, but it's just so rewarding to be able to train a dog that had serious issues, whether it's behavioral or whatever, and seeing a transformation, taking that dog home, and mom and dad are literally in tears because of how happy they are with the training. If somebody is interested, I'd say don't hesitate. Make sure you like dogs. Make sure that you enjoy working with people, because we're not just dog trainers. We are customer service people that help dogs, and so definitely don't hesitate. Just come in and ask questions. Ask all the questions you have.